Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick overview of what Doobert currently does here in the US, some of the technologies and things that we have, and then to really think about how we can apply these tools to the animal rescue community in India. So the goal would be is we'd have Doobert.in and we would use a lot of the same tools and concepts, but it would be targeted at what you guys need instead of what is needed here in the US. So everything in Doobert is all custom built and automated. People can sign up either as an individual or as an organization. So we do differentiate so that the professionals, the rescues and shelters, have a different set of tools than what the general volunteers have. So if I go ahead and sign in, and I'll be signing in here first as an organization to kind of show you what organizations here are able to do. But think about the concepts. Don't necessarily think about exactly the way it works, because a lot of these same things can be repurposed in other ways. So for example, we have 4 tabs. We have a transport tab, an animals tab, a partners tab, and then a configure tab, which has just kind of like a hodgepodge of different things. But the transport is the biggest challenge here in the US. And so one of the things they're able to do is to create specific kinds of transports that is, used to move an animal. And this is, rescue relay, high volume transports move from areas of overpopulation to where the animals are able to be adopted. And local rides are pretty much used for around town. It's kind of like Uber for rescue animals, and that they'll take them to a vet, they'll take them to a foster, they'll take them to an adoption event, things like that. So they have the ability to create all these. Everything, like I said, is all custom built. It's all designed around animals instead of around, something like Uber. So they can, add the animals from their organization, right, that they're trying to put on a particular transport. And then when they actually publish the ride, what'll happen is, so in this case, this one, this is what the ride was. It'll actually plot the route on Google Maps, and then it'll automatically notify the volunteers, either through email, in-app notifications, or even text messages. And then the volunteers will actually be able to come out and sign up to take that particular ride. So again, Uber style, they can come up and do that. Now, the idea is that we could repurpose this same function if an animal if an animal was injured and needed to be taken to a vet. If an animal needed to be, taken to a vet for spay and neuter or picked up for the vet for spay and neuter. There's different things that we can do. We do have the ability to have animal profiles, right? So we can have all that information in there. It can be added via the app. It can be uploaded. It can be manually typed in. I don't know if this would be helpful or if it's more work than it's worth. So just be aware that we have that ability to do that as well. We do have lost and found functions. So you can find animals, you can report animals as lost and found, and then you can actually use this to search. And we're tied in with the lost and found systems here in the US. So the idea of partners is that organizations can find other organizations. And so when they're trying to find another partner in the US, what they're looking for primarily is a source or a destination. But again, the concepts can be repurposed for an India market if there's organizations trying to find, other organizations for different reasons. So the idea is that they're able to search. When their search returns here, it'll come back with a list of matching organizations. They can, see animals that they have available to transfer. They can add them as a partner. They can plot them on a map. So everything in here is, again, all custom built to try and make it easier for these organizations to find one another. And then we do have some other things, trading post. The idea is that they can list items that they're willing to share or give to other organizations. And then they can request things. And again, it's automated so that when somebody posts something that you need, you can get a notification and things like that. So these are all designed to be tools to really help the organizations and volunteers to work better together. They can create fundraisers. We do have the ability to create, pledge and collect fundraisers. Kind of gives you an idea. It'll automatically generate a fundraising page. So, I know people can use GoFundMe and things like that, but at least having it in Doobert keeps it all in one place. So we have that ability to do that stuff as well. Now, from a volunteer side, every volunteer that signs up, this is what they would see. So now I'm in the volunteer side of things. Again, today it's currently focused on transports. I can see transports near me, but an interesting function that might be helpful is My Trips. And what this allows volunteers to do is to enter where they're going and when, and what kind of space they have to take animals. And the nice thing about this is we make this information available to organizations so that if there's an animal trying to go in that direction, they can actually request to have them put onto that trip. The other thing that volunteers are able to do is they're able to manage the way that they can help. So we have a transporter profile, so they can pick the days of the week they're available, how big of a radius circle that they want to be notified of transports for. They can receive texts. They can put in information about their vehicle. They can even show their what we call their coverage area. So if I zoom this out a little bit, I can say, listen, I'm willing to drive, this distance, so anywhere within this distance. It kind of allows people to indicate how they're able to help out. So the idea is that we get more volunteers involved, and then what can we do with that information, and how do we use them to help save animals? So volunteers also can do other things. They can be a foster home photographer, lost animal support volunteer. So there's different things. And again, keep in mind, we can repurpose this to whatever we want. So we could create profiles for whatever we need, the type of volunteers that we're looking for. So we could have, volunteers that do feeding and watering, volunteers that, are able to do transport or coordination if they don't have the ability to do transport. So just lots of different ideas. We also have what we call the rescue store. So organizations can list products, right, so that people can buy. With the proceeds are all going to animal rescue. So all of the money here goes directly into the account of the animal rescuers. So there's a lot of different features that I just wanted you to understand that Doobert has. Like I said, we can send emails, texts. We've got an Android, an Apple, and even an Amazon app. We're very tightly integrated to Facebook, so a lot of stuff automatically posts to Facebook. And what I'd love to do is to learn functions that would help, that we would then reapply so that Doobert.in would use the same types of things, but we would do it in a different way that would be more appropriate. My whole goal here is to help save more animals, and I'm a very big believer that we need to work together in order to do that. So I look forward to your feedback, your insights, your ideas, so that we can save more animals together. Thanks.